Hi, my name is Joe Jackson. I'm a journalist, author, interviewer, and broadcaster whose career began on March the 1st, 1985, after a 1 hour conversation with one of my music heroes, Leonard Cohen. It made me feel so transcendent that I decided I must seek out more of my music heroes to talk with. And believe me, Tony Bennett certainly fits into that category. As it transpired, I interviewed Tony on 3 occasions, the most memorable being the time he was enjoying the interview so much in the office of his record company in Dublin that he suggested we continue talking over dinner in a restaurant nearby. How cool! And we did. But for this podcast, which is my way of celebrating the man's 95th birthday this week, I want to focus on an exchange we had at the start of that chat and which helped me identify what I believe is a core truth about Tony Bennett and his art, particularly the impulse that propels him towards creating art that is fundamentally light in tone and spiritually uplifting. It's a wonderful story, even if it starts with a horrific and seminal image from Tony's childhood. By the way, if you want to read the interview as printed, check out my website, joejacksoninterviewer.com.
So you've always had this. You said one of your comments was that your whole life has been an attempt to communicate. You once said that?
Yeah, I had. Oh gosh, they did it again.
So that needs.
I've always had this. Like Joe Williams, the jazz singer, he told me one time I met him on a plane by accident. We just had a conversation about ourselves, just being peers, and he said what people don't realize about you is it's not a matter of ambition. He said, you have to sing.
Right,
It's the same, same with painting. I have to paint. I don't even know why. I just do it.
Why is that?
I think it's a gift. I think we're all given a kind of, I think it's our circumstances. I think I grew up in the Depression and the panic of certain horrible things that have happened in my life, like seeing my mother raise 3 children when my father died when I was 10.
Right.
And have it as she was sewing, that every once in a while the needle would go through her nail,
Right.
An electric machine,
Yeah.
And that, to this day, just drives me to, panic.
Right.
And that
Okay.
my mother had to do that, I would just say, why,
Sure.
And this kind of, so what's your cobalt, it's just like Charlie Chaplin. I mean, it was such a shock. His life, his early beginnings was such a shock that he just
Moved the other
scooted
way.
on. He
Yeah.
just scooted on to get out of that position. Okay, but so in a sense, it's an incongruous, wonderful gift because it charges you toward culture, towards education. You search for it. You say, I got to get out of this situation.
Sure.
See?
Well, a lot of your art could actually be seen as an escape to get away from seeing that image of the needle going through the finger.
That's good. No, really, absolutely, because I really kind of try and create this premise of truth and beauty that I search for, and try to apply that. And because we see enough of that in the newspapers and on the 60 Minutes, on TV at 6 o'clock news every night. You see these. You get the feeling it's the end of the world because they want ratings, so they're going to show you. Something shocking, so that you're forced to watch it. You say, "Oh my God, look what happened!" And actually, you walk in the street and everything's quite peaceful a lot of times. It's just certain areas just get exaggerated.
But didn't you say that about the difference between you and Frank was that he explores the darker side of the street, and you would like to keep the lighter side too?
Well, no,
I don't mean only. It's not A or B.
He just believes the 2 masks. He's theatrical in the sense that he knows that it has to be the 2 masks of tragedy and humor,
right,
and comedy. I just like to do anything that's my own. A lot of my popular songs that are repertoire. Is like For Once in My Life or. Who can I turn to?
Put on a happy face.
Put on a happy face. I don't like to sing songs that are really that sad.
Do you not?
No.
Because I even was reading this again.
Sometimes I'll do a Danny Boy for my son, and something that's kind of autobiographical in a sense, thinking that way while I'm singing it.
Why is Danny Boy? Why would Danny Boy?
Because my son is Danny. My son Danny.
All right. Yeah, I never heard your version of that, though. I've heard it.
I think you might like it. It's with Stan Getz.
Yeah, so I heard it was. You were really happy with it.
It's a good recording. That's one of the good ones that's right in there. You just.
It'll get onto the next box set.
Yeah.
Hi, Joe Jackson here again. I thank you for listening to this edition of the Joe Jackson Interviews podcast. You can subscribe to the podcasts on Podbean or YouTube if you want to be informed about future episodes. And don't forget, if you want to read the Tony Bennett interview I wrote, check out joejacksoninterviewer.com.